So, game's not letting me on, so I've thought I'd try something new. Um, so I'm just gonna ramble on about Chronogenesis and how you can use it and what you want to look for depending on what you're trying to do. So this is Chronogenesis. This is where we would find grandparents and parents borrow. We can even do great grandparents as well. So I think what the majority of you will do when it comes to this site is just borrow a parent to use for an ace. So we're just going to do stamina 9 and medium 9. Oh, that's not medium 9. That's medium 9. Give it to this. And then hit search, and we're going to take whatever we like from the list and not care about anything else. It's just 9-star stamina, 9-star medium, put it into an ace and hope that we get medium S, and if we don't, then we just run it again until we do. So that's a simplistic view of how to use the site. If you want to make great grandparents, I have been doing something a bit different. So what I tend to do when I want to do great grandparents is just go down to additional filters, and in the box for total common spark, just type in 50. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me all the Umas in the game that can be borrowed that have 50 or more sparks, just the whites. So all of this is the total common. It's actually sorted by grade bonus at the minute, so we hit total common and it's going to give me it's going to sort by the highest number. So in this set's case, it's 54. And what I would do is just hit 50, hit search, sort by total common, and then pick one that I like that has decent skills, like this one with tail held high, playtimes over, racing, spirit, stamina, etc. And run this with a great grandparent, and then have at least this part of the set on my account, and then I can loop it into different Umas and build up to something like this myself as a great grandparent. Then we want to move on to making a parent. So you can just make your own, but I like to cut corners, so I'm going to search for a grandparent to pair with my own to make a parent. And now we have to play with the sparks a bit. So let's take Grand Live. Grand Live is the scenario that is notorious for needing stamina sparks. We don't take stamina cards, we don't take anything really outside of speed, wit and like hello. So stamina has to come from somewhere, and that will be parents. So if you're making a or a grandparent for your parent, then you would click stamina, click legacy, and click 3-star. This is going to tell the site I want a 3-star stamina legacy. We can leave all of this blank. This isn't really what we care for, because we're gonna use the sparks to filter anything out. The red we can leave alone, but in the case of building a parent for an ace, let's use medium. So we want 3-star stamina, 3-star medium. You can lower the medium or the pink to 2 or 1, and this increases the amount of Umas that the site gives us. And yeah, and then if we want any skills like leap forward, which is a new one that was added, or attack stance, or on the attack, or racing spirit, stamina, or power, then we would just type that in. So in my example, I want on the attack, and we're just gonna set it to legacy again, and we're gonna set it to 1-star. So if we hit search, oh, couldn't find anything. Brilliant. So, okay, if we select any, also didn't find anything. Okay, well, let's just find something then. We're gonna get 3-star stamina, 2-star medium, and the reason why I selected 1 is because it's telling the site that I want the minimum spark to be 1-star. So even though we've searched for 1-star medium, the site can show me anything between 1 and 3, which is pretty useful. And yeah, so if we find something we like, which in this Gold City's case, the answer is no, then what we would do is just add a skill. So we can do held high, or ramp up, and there we go. So this Dusker is got held high, ramp up, playtime's over, early lead. So for, let's say, Valentine's bourbon parent, this will be alright. It gives me skills I want, it gives me stamina, which is what I want, and medium, which is what I want. This saying Sky, same thing, gives me skills I want. Now obviously, if we want more skills, then we just add more. Pretty simple. The greens are, let's say I specifically wanted a legacy that had 3 stars, and I wanted it to be, let's use Suzuka. So you can just go on the list and select Suzuka, and the site will just give you, where is she? There she is. The site will just give you any Suzuka that's a borrow. Apparently there's none. So yeah, the site will just give you any Suzuka that's a borrow. We'll have to remove the skills just to see if there is one. There definitely is. And now we can go and sort by 3-star green. Why we'd want 3-star green is twofold. One, if this was a parent, then her being 3 stars basically gives us a level 3 hint on the skill. And if this was a grandparent, then this increases the chance of a spark occurring during the inheritance event. And obviously, the more sparks, the higher the chance. Show you why we want to use this inheritance calculator. So, if you've played the game, which you would have, obviously, you would have made a Uma or 2 or 260, which I think is the maximum, and you'd obviously have 1 or 2 that you'd want to use as parents or grandparents, and you're going to want to borrow someone for whatever reason, but you're going to want to borrow. So you come here and select trainee. I don't know, let's say, well, he's out now, so we can do this. From a gold ship for Marizensky. Or no, because the card's out, so you wouldn't use her. Who's a good one? Saiyan. Let's use Saiyan Sky. So you're gonna train Saiyan Sky, and you've got your rumor, and you want to put it in here. So you would go into grab partner ID and copy and paste it. As you can see here, I've done that quite a few times, so I've got stuff to choose from. Let's take my Maru, and as you can see, they've won quite a few races together. They share a lot of races as well. I believe it only shows the ones they share, so not to be confused with all of the races that they've done in their career. It just shows the ones that they share, and obviously the sparks that they hold, which is cool. So now, as you can see, it's added affinity, and it's also added the percentage chance. If we change the rate calculation to single inspiration, then we can see that if you're one of the trainers that likes to quit after the first event, then you can see that, let's use medium as an example, that first event gives you a 16% chance to get medium S on the Saiyan with this borrow using my borrow. If you were going to door on the first inheritance, then now you know what your chances are, and obviously you would just get more sparks. If we look for medium 6, which should give us medium 12, then it's now 32%. with 350 affinity. If we wanted to be a little bit more ambitious, we can look for medium 8 if it exists, which it does, and it's 33%. So it doesn't move much past, I want to say, like 10, but you're rolling the dice on affinity because you don't know, or you do know, but because the game or the site will tell us what they share, and this isn't great, but you know, you're borrowing what's available, so you're at the mercy of what's there. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll either make an additional video going over it or reply to it. Yeah, been a bit of a rambly video, but game won't let me on, so it is what it is.